and the Todd Family YouTube video, wherever you are, whatever you may be doing. Thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. If you jump on here live, late here on this, free to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Make sure to give the video a like, a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. I'll give a full college football video probably tomorrow, talking about all the meaningful games from Friday night and all day long today. Good evening, Keveron. Good to have you here as always. But if you have any comments, you can go ahead and let me know, and I'll try to bring them up, tomorrow. But tonight I want to talk about some high school football. Hard to believe that 2 more weeks is all that's left in the regular season. Halloween night will be the regular season finales for all the high school teams. So only a couple of more weeks left in the regular season. So let's go ahead and talk about some scores from around the state of Georgia and the upstate of South Carolina. McEachern defeated Hillgrove 35-14. In overtime, Pebblebrook defeats South Cobb 22-20. Archer 24, South Gwinnett 7. Brookwood 45, Peachtree Ridge 27. Parkview defeats Duluth 42-29. Noonan defeats Lovejoy 38-28. Hart County defeats East Jackson 21-6. Rome 62, South Paulding 22. Jackson County all over Winder Barrow 57-13. Ware County defeats Perry 21-14. Prince Avenue defeats Franklin County 45-14. Griffin over Jonesboro 21-15. Lithonia, hey there, I'm going to hope that's Amadou. If not, I apologize. Maybe it's Amadou. Nevertheless, glad to have you here. If this is your first time being here, whatever reason you stopped by the channel tonight, thank you for doing so. And if it is your first time here, please feel free to give the video a like, a thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed, please do so and share the video on all social media platforms. And I've been doing this channel now for about 4.5 years, but there's a few videos. It's my wife and kids, but most of them it's just me. And most of the time I'm talking sports. It's just me. I don't have anybody else. I don't have any moderators. I don't have any co-hosts. I don't have any sponsors. It's just me. So thank you for being here. Lithonia defeated St. Pius X 48-7. Madison County 42, Cedar Shoals 7. Eastside 42, East Forsyth 7. Flowery Branch over Walnut Grove 49-28. Dawson County over Chestatee 42-14. North Hall over Lumpkin County 35-12. Morgan County over Jackson 42-18. And yes, I do. Amadou, I have a fantastic life. I am very, very, very blessed, and I hope you are as well. Hebron Christian defeats Stevens County 51-24. Jasper over Social Circle 42-7. Athens Academy over Elbert County 48-14. Providence Christian over Banks County 27-19. Oglethorpe County over Commerce 24-14. to 14. Hey there, Marcus. Glad to have you back. Been a while since I've seen your name in the comment section. So thank you for jumping on here live here on this late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. And Washington Wilkes defeats their arch rivals Greene County 35-28. Now let's do some scores around the upstate of South Carolina. And Amado, I hope you are as blessed as I am. And yes, I do. I wear many hats, have many jobs. Thank you for asking. Walhalla defeated Berea 35-14. Pendleton 40. West Oak 14. Gaffney 49. Riverside 20. BHP 55. Crescent 28. Blue Ridge 27. Travelers Rest 24. Clinton 56. Landrum 14. Seneca over Greer 42-13. And Ethan, you can tell me a score for Polk County, and I'd be more than happy to report it. I'm going to assume either you currently go to school there or did go to school there, but most of the people that I know personally that have subscribed to this channel, Ethan, either live in Georgia or South Carolina, so that's why that's usually the scores I give is those two states. But if you give me a score for Polk County, I have no problem reporting it. I tell folks all the time that, I don't mind giving high school scores for Missouri and Arkansas and California and South Dakota, but I want to make sure that there's people watching that want to know. Hey there, Alex. Glad to have you here on this Sunday morning. But Ethan, with you being on here asking, that means you want to know. So if you let me know the score, I'd be more than happy to report it, but I do not have it written down. Most of the people I know, like I said, that watch the channel that I've met personally or talked to on Facebook either live in Georgia or the upstate of South Carolina. I have a bunch of people from South Carolina because I'm a Clemson fan. So they come on here. Now, this is not a Clemson channel, but I am a Clemson fan. So I have people come on here to watch just because they know that I'm a Clemson fan. So that's why I have so many people from the upstate of South Carolina that watch the channel. Burns defeated Eastside 18-6. Greenville defeats Malden 21-13. Greenwood over Woodmont 49-7. Hillcrest over Easley 49-20. Powdersville over Palmetto 45-14. Dorman over Wade Hampton 52-7. Chapman 30. Union County 27. 96-28. Saluda 27. Wren over Lawrence 45-28. West Side over Fountain Inn 48-21. Ware Shoals over Dixie 58-33. And Amadou, let me know what kind of schooling you're doing. Are you doing online schooling? Are you in high school? Are you in college? Spartanburg defeats Boiling Springs 21-7. T.L. Hanna defeats J.L. Mann 55-17. And Liberty defeats Chesney 35-6. And Christopher, it's good to have you here. Now, Christopher, if you want to come back tomorrow, whenever I jump on here tomorrow, I'll be doing a full-fledged video about all the games worthwhile from this weekend in college football. And I don't know if you're being funny or if you're being serious, but if you're a Clemson fan, Christopher, I hope you don't have your heart set on that happening because it's not happening. But if you're being funny, then that's totally different. But if you're a Clemson fan, please don't think that's happening. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now and bust your bubble. That's not happening. Dabo will be there when I have grandkids. Unless he chooses to leave, he's not getting fired. But any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. When I was little, my mom used to feed me alphabet soup, claiming I loved it. I didn't really. She was just putting words in my mouth. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. And Christopher says it needs to happen until Clemson uses the transfer portal. Clemson won't be back to the top. I'm a Clemson fan, but he needs to get with the times. Well, Christopher, I'm glad that you told me you're a Clemson fan because I really had no earthly idea. But there's a couple of issues with what you're saying. The first issue is they just used the portal. 2 of the best players on the team this year are Tristan Smith, who they got through the transfer portal, and Will Helt, who they got through the transfer portal. So we can't accuse Dabo of not using the portal when the facts are he's using the portal. But the issues this year have nothing to do with the transfer portal. First of all, you just started using Tristan Smith really about game 4 because the first 3 games, he played 4 or 5 snaps a game, but I mean, not a whole lot, not worth even talking about. So there's no point in using the portal if you're not going to use the players who you get in the portal. But we can't say that Dabo's not using the portal when the facts are Dabo's using the portal. But the problem is, if you use the portal and it backfires, then people say you suck because you're using the portal. If you don't use the portal and you suck, then people say you suck because you're not using it. Like Colorado this year, they're terrible. Why are they terrible? Because their whole entire team is transfer players. Florida State's having another average season. Why? Because their whole team is transfer players. So when it works, you're a genius. When it doesn't, you're an idiot. If you win and you're using it, then you're winning because you're using it. If you're not winning and you're using it, well, then you're not winning because you're using it. So this day and time, because we have the portal, people are going to fuss no matter what you do. But Dabo is using it because we see Tristan Smith pretty much all the time now on offense. And I would say that Will Helt's been their best defensive player, and he's a portal player. So they are using the portal, but their issues are not the portal. Their issues are they do not have a leader on the field. And you always have to have that one player on the team. It's usually the quarterback, but it doesn't have to be the quarterback. But usually you have that one player on the team that everybody goes to get set straight. Clemson doesn't have that. And the reality of it is they haven't had that in 2 or 3 years. They really probably haven't had it since Trevor Lawrence and ETN left. And you have to have that on-field captain, and they don't have it. So it causes the whole team to just look flat and look uninspired. That's one problem. And the main problem is, and it's the reason why I say using the portal won't help, because if you don't develop your players, you can have the best transfer portal roster in football, and you're not going to win. And Clemson has had trouble developing players really since Trevor Lawrence's freshman year. When Trevor Lawrence was a freshman, I thought, man, this is going to be the best quarterback I've ever seen. When Trevor Lawrence was a junior, he was the same. I didn't see him get any better in his 3 years at Clemson. And ever since Trevor Lawrence got there, they've had a problem developing players. And you look all over the field on both sides of the ball, and they've got 4- and 5-star talent of kids that come in out of high school, and they're ready to play. And the longer they stay at Clemson, either they get worse or they never get better. And if you're not developing your talent, it doesn't matter who you sign in the portal and who you get in recruiting. They're not going to get better. And I don't know who they claim is in charge of developing talent, but whoever it is ain't doing it. And until they get that fixed and they get a true leader on the field, what you see now is about what you're going to get. But, and Dabo also gets accused of, never firing coaches. And he's pretty much fired just about one coach every offseason for the past 4 seasons. So we can't say Dabo don't fire coaches because that's not true either. The facts show differently. But they just don't have a leader on the field, and they don't have nobody to develop talent. And that's why I feel bad for Vizina. Everybody thinks Vizina's the quarterback of the future. But when Vizina came in as a freshman, when he played, I thought he looked good. But 2 years later, when I seen play, I've seen no improvement. Is it the fact that Vizina just ain't the answer? Or is it the fact that he's not getting developed because he's not getting better? Sometimes it's the fact that the player can't get better, and sometimes it's the fact that they're not being coached and being developed to get better. And when you've had so many players like Clemson has that are not being developed, then all of a sudden you've got Vizina who's not getting better, then wants to assume it's because he's not being developed. But you look at Peter Woods. Remember how good Peter Woods was coming out of high school? And this is his 3rd year at Clemson, and I don't think he's any better now than he was when he got there. I don't think T.J. Parker is any better now than he was when he got there. I don't think the running back, David Azuzame, is any better now than he was when he got there. And they have players like that on both sides of the ball. So when that happens, you realize your talent's not getting better. And if your talent's not getting better, I don't care who you sign in the portal and who you sign through recruiting. It does you no good because you have to get better because the teams you're playing against always get better. But Dabo is using the portal. So, Christopher, I'm glad you said that because it just shows that people just talk and they really have no idea what they're talking about, because if you don't keep up with the program, you automatically assume that since the media tells you that Dabo doesn't use the portal, that it's true, when the facts are it's not true. All we heard all offseason was how good Tristan Smith was, and Tristan Smith is really good. Why he pretty much didn't play the first 3 games, I have no idea. But now that he's playing, we see how good he is. And I think Will Helton has been their best defensive player on a regular basis all year long. Other guys have had good quarters, good series, good halves, but Will Helton's really been the only one that's, I think personally, been consistent and played 100% every snap all year long. And, of course, he transferred from Purdue. So, to him, the kind of season Clemson's having isn't bad because it's still better than what Purdue typically does. But Dabo's not going anywhere, but they're going to have to find somebody to develop talent, and they're going to have to get a leader on the field. Until they fix those 2 things, what you see now, it's about what you're going to get. But when you've got a program like Clemson that went through 25 years of being lucky to win 8 games, then you get a coach that wins 2 national championships, you're not going to fire the coach from one bad season. And this is his first bad season since 2010. So you're not going to fire a coach for having 14 good seasons and 1 bad season when he's given you 2 national championships. But until next time, bye.